Well, Paul Skenes pitched for the Pirates today, and you would have thought that the Astros took the L. That is not what happened. We went yard today in the great park of PNC. The Astros offense did just enough. Let's talk about it right now.
Jainel Diaz, this is Locked On Astros.
Hello and welcome to Locked On Astros, your daily Astros podcast. Here are your hosts, Eric the Man Huysman and Brett H-Town Wheelhouse Chancey.
We are Locked On Houston Astros, and we hope that you join us for a daily Locked On Astros podcast. My name is Eric Huysman. You can find me on X at EricDockstros. Find the show at Locked On Astros, your team every day. Brett, where can you find you at?
They can find me at H-Town Wheelhouse on X, Instagram, and TikTok, or that's H-Town_Wheelhouse on Instagram. You can find me at Stros411. You can find me at Back to the Bullpen. Look, just go to social media, look up H-Town Wheelhouse. You know where to find me. I'm always positive, always Stros.
Hey guys, thank you for making Locked On Astros podcast your first listen every day. Whether it's on YouTube, go ahead, subscribe to us. We're getting really close to 14,000 subscribers. Between Brett and I, we have over about 16 years of podcasting experience, whether it's on Sports Talk 790 with Talking Stros with the B-Ball lawyer, or with me and Brett is doing Back to the Bullpen with Mike Stan. So go ahead and make us your first listen every day, whether you're on your way to work or whatever it is. And with my new career, I'm feeling your pain of anybody that has to drive to work every day. I'm so used to being a teacher and having to just drive a few minutes, but it's a different atmosphere now. So this episode is brought to you by Monarch Money. Take control of your finances with Monarch Money. Use the code LOCKEDONMLB at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first year. So, Brett, you already kind of mentioned it. Lance McCullers, after that bad start, he out-dueled Paul Skenes. I know Skenes went deeper in the game, but we'll talk about what happened in this game. Christian Walker, I know people have been bashing him all year, but recently he's been playing a lot better. And for the first time all year, the Astros did something, and we'll talk about that on this edition of the Locked On Astros podcast. So Lance McCullers, after that bad start when he gave up what was it, 8 runs or whatever it was in 1 1/3 innings, he has rebounded. He has like a 1.88 ERA in his last 24 innings. His ERA on the season is 4.44. This is a different guy, and I put on the little notes there. Is Lance McCullers back to form, Brett?
Look, let's just say this. I think back to form, I would say healthy. Now back to form would mean we know back to form would be like the original Lance McCullers. And we know that he's retooled and he's got a different arsenal. He is back to the form of a pitcher who's healthy, who's dominant, and who's confident. And for him to be going up against Paul Skenes, you would think, okay, Paul Skenes, easy. He's going to have a better day on the mound. Now, the Pirates aren't exactly the best offensive team. They've got, their leader in RBIs, Brian Reynolds, with 32. O'Neal Cruz has the StatCast era record for exit velocity on a home run, 122.1 miles an hour off the bat. You've got your stalwart veteran who almost went deep today, Andrew McCutchen. They kept him in the ballpark. But the threats on the base pass, the threats at the plate didn't happen. Why? Because Lance McCullers simply went out there and shoved. He controlled the strike zone. He didn't get too far off of his game plan. You can't argue with his body of work. A lot of people want to say last game, but it was the athletics. Well, no, these are all professional players. And for 6 innings, Eric, only 1 walk, 7 strikeouts today.
Right.
In 96 pitches, 61 of them were strikes. And he was getting some swing and miss stuff going. You absolutely love to see it. And Eric, you have to have it because we have heard that the Astros are in the market for a trade to get another starting pitcher. So you need to look. Lance McCullers, he didn't get 21 swings and misses like Paul Skenes, but his 9 swings and misses was enough to help part of a combined shutout.
I don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves, but maybe I know Jacob Melton is up because DeZenzo and Chaz McCormick went on the IL, but this also feels a little bit like Joey Loperfido 2.0. Let's see what this kid can do while he's up with the big leagues, and maybe this is just a showcase for a possible trade for a upgrade at the starting rotation. But recently, it's been a lot of, well, when Hunter Brown comes up, the Astros can they don't have to rely on their bullpen. And then when Framber Valdez comes up, you don't have to rely a lot on the bullpen. But now Lance McCullers enters that statement. He is now one of the reliable guys. And this is, I know a lot of people said, this guy is washed. Make him a bullpen guy. He cannot do it. And he has come back from everything that's happened, all the setbacks, not pitching for 2 years, and he's dealing out there. And he's doing a little bit different than Paul Skenes did. He's out there pitching, just throwing his changeup, his slider, he has the sinker, but
the slider was working today, Eric. Yeah. I mean, he threw 31 sliders, he threw 27 sinkers. So look, I see a lot of it's, it's so funny, Eric. When this team does good, there are still those naysayers and doubters of the product that's on the field, kind of doubting, like, is this fool's gold? At the end of the day, if you get 27 outs and your team is ahead, it doesn't matter how you did it. Now, it does in the long run when you get to the playoffs, but for right now, Lance McCullers is doing the job even better than any of us, any people that are here on this chat that have been a part of our show for as many years as we've been on the air. Nobody anticipated Lance to do this. And almost everybody talking crap today about the game were saying Lance McCullers is done. Why don't you just cut him? And now that he's doing good, oh, well, it's because it's not against a good team. What are you talking about? It doesn't matter. They're major league players, right? Because if these games didn't matter, then why do we play them, right? I mean, again, O'Neal Cruz is no slouch, all right? Brian Reynolds, yeah, he's not having a great year, but he's no slouch. They've got guys that can hit the ball. And, well, but Brett, we only scored 3 runs. It was Paul freaking Skenes. This dude throws 100 miles an hour on the regular. The guy got 21 swings and misses. Yeah, and you know what? This offense doesn't score a lot of runs anyways. So it's not so much. It's just like we can't have nice things anymore because it's never good enough. It's like literally, I can't imagine. Can you imagine if we were the Rockies? Like these people would lose their minds. They would lose their mind.
Well, at some point, the Astros may not get to that point of ineptitude there where they struggle that bad, but there's going to be a time where the Astros may not be a good team. But I think that they still have enough of their nucleus to continue winning. But right now, McCullers went out there 6 shutout innings, and Paul Skenes went out there 8 innings, only allowed the 1 run. He had the 8 strikeouts, I believe he had 8 strikeouts, and only allowed 3 hits. And Lance McCullers allowed 2 hits, but it was a pitcher's duel. And McCullers, he understood the assignment. He understood exactly what he had to do. He was pitching against one of the best pitchers in baseball, and he went out there and brought his A game. And he knows that the Pirates are not a good offensive team. Yes, O'Neal Cruz, when he gets a hold of it, he can hit it a long way, but he also has a lot of swing and miss in him. And so I think that Lance McCullers just went out there and he was who Lance McCullers is. And by the way, I'm not sure if you talked about it yesterday, but they did find out who the person it was that made the threats against Lance McCullers.
Yeah.
It was inebriated overseas bettor who lost a bet against on that game. And so this was just, I'm not saying that's excuse, but I don't know.
He apologized. Yeah. He wanted Lance McCullers to get the apology, but no, man, like
it's not excuse.
Okay, well, then you know what, buddy? Turn yourself in, go to a rehab, and disconnect from the internet, please.
Yeah, but at least it sounds like Lance McCullers is feeling a little bit better now that there's some type of resolution about this and he can focus. I know that he has security guards now, but this guy, ever since then, he has been a different pitcher. I don't think that has caused him to do it, but he has finally just tapped into who Lance McCullers is. And speaking of which, maybe another struggling Astro has tapped into who he is. So, guys, thank you for making Locked On Astros podcast your first listen every day.
Hey, do you ever check your bank account and wonder where all the money has gone between dining out, online shopping, entertainment, the Houston Astros at Dyken Park? Look, Monarch Money is here for you, and it's like your own personal CFO, giving you full visibility and control over your finances. It's not just a budgeting app, it's a complete financial command center. You can track all your accounts, investments, spending all in one place, so you stop just managing your money and start building wealth. I know with Monarch Money, I know just how much I spend on every single line item. Instead of juggling multiple apps for multiple cards, I can go to one place and track my spending. Also, managing money with your partner becomes easier and smoother than ever when you can track shared and personal accounts, set goals, and stay on the same page without the stress. So take control of your finances with Monarch Money. Use code LOCKEDONMLB at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first year. That's monarchmoney.com, code LOCKEDONMLB for half off your first year today.
Hey guys, thank you for making Locked On Astros podcast your first listen every day, whether it's on YouTube. Go ahead, subscribe to us, make us first listen. Apple, Odyssey, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcasts, go and check us out. So we talked about the Lance McCullers comeback story. What he's doing is impressive. I don't know if he'll get the Comeback Player of the Year award, but what he's doing is something that I don't think a lot of people expected. I know a lot of people expected him to just come back and maybe be a reliever. But a lot of people expected a lot of great things from Christian Walker with his career with the Diamondbacks, with what he's done recently in the past few seasons, especially defensively, offensively. The Astros thought that they got a good one with him, but he's struggled to start the season. A lot of people call him Jose Altuve, not Jose Altuve, Jose Abreu 2.0, and saying that he was going to struggle a little bit. But yes, he did struggle, but he seems to be finding it a little bit, and he was so pumped. Paul Skenes, this guy is a tough cookie. He's throwing out there 90-something miles per hour. He's one of those guys that nobody really wants to face, but at the same time, it's kind of cool to face. But you could see when Christian Walker hit that home run, it was on a sweeper. You could see that he was pumped up, and I think he did like this as he was going around the bases, and he doesn't normally show a lot of emotion, but this was a big moment because not only was it a winning run because the Astros ended up with Brady's getting 2 extra runs later with a 2-run homer, but that was a big point in the game. Not only did it give Lance McCullers his first victory since 2022, his 50th win overall, but it gave the Astros their another win.
Yeah, so what I like about this, where I think this conversation can go, is when you look at the Houston Astros.
Yeah,
33 of their 60 games, Eric, they've scored 3 runs or less. They are maybe towards the bottom third of for home runs. They're 59 home runs. The 2 teams that lead in home runs, the LA Dodgers and the New York Yankees. But Eric, this is what's insane, and this is why baseball drives me nuts sometimes. Do you know who is in 3rd place for home runs?
Who?
Guess. Give me a guess. Think of the good teams right now, like the Tigers, the Tigers, the Mariners, the Mets, the Cubs, or I'll give you another choice, the Red Sox, and I'll give you the Angels. Which of those teams is 3rd in the league?
I'm going to guess the Angels.
The Angels. The Angels. The Angels are 3rd in the league in home runs. Now, is what I'm saying predicated on if we had more home runs, we would have more wins? We probably would. But Eric, this team right now, as it sits with the 32 or 33 games with 3 runs or less, They've got to change it. And the only way that's going to change if guys like Christian Walker start hitting the long ball. If they start hitting the long ball, you've got a pitching staff and a bullpen outside of the Rays that can absolutely dominate the league. I don't know what the Rays figured out with the Astros bullpen, but I pray to God or anything that they are not sharing this intel with the rest of the league, because I don't think we see them anymore this season. But the Houston Astros team, and David saying positive things about the Astros. David must have had a come to Jesus moment, but when this offense really wakes up, if Yordan comes back full strength and Christian Walker has picked it up, this team's going to be really hard to stop. And right now, you're going to have to continue to score more, because Seattle, they still don't have a massive run differential, over you. And you're kind of flirting with them right now. We're in a tie right now. If the Mariners lose, we'll be up by a half game. It's going to be neck and neck, because Cal Riley's coming for that AL MVP trophy. I don't know if he's going to get it. I don't know if Aaron Judge is going to get it, but the Mariners are playing really good long ball, but their pitching's also giving up a lot of runs.
Well, speaking of run differential, the Astros have won 3 out of the last 5 games, despite being outscored by 18 runs. That's just crazy. It's just amazing how this stuff happens. I mean, the Rays just killed the Astros bullpen, and part of it has to do with the starters not going deep in the game. You had Ryan Gusto, he's not going deep in the game. Then you have Colton Gordon, he didn't go deep in that game. And so when you get exposure to the rest of the bullpen, you don't have the guys that went today, Dubin, and then Brian Brayu, and then of course Josh Hader, who's been nails all year. You didn't have those guys go. You had the other guys, the not the usual suspects, the other suspects. And like Brian Keane has been good all year, but against the Rays, he just wasn't that good. So the bullpen, I'm going to give them credit a lot more often. But what Christian Walker has done recently is he has had some big hits. Even before the recent hot streak, he had some big home runs. I believe it was to finally get a back-to-back win. It was about a month ago.
Yeah.
So to kind of get the Astros back to the winning ways. So I think Christian Walker, once he figures things out, I think the Astros would be a much better team, because that's why he brought him in. But Paredes, this guy, he has now 12 home runs on the season. And I did see it was either Ken Rosenthal or Passan talking about maybe should the Astros be sellers at the trade deadline. And one of the people that he mentioned trading would be Paredes. Of course, it would be Hader and Valdez if they're trying to get younger, get some prospects for the future. But I just don't think where the Astros are with how bad the AL West is, you don't do this.
No.
You had Dana Brown basically drooling for Paredes for the past 2 years. They're not going to do that.
No. I mean, look, 75% of the teams that are in the playoff picture after Labor Day make the playoffs. Jim Crane that would be ludicrous. It was just as ludicrous as MLB Network putting Framber Valdez in a Yankees uniform. But the entire time they were talking about the Yankees and Astros trading, they would say, but we know these two teams aren't going to trade. I'm like, but if you know it's an absolute zero-sum game, why are you even bringing it up? You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, the Houston Astros have said that they are looking for pitchers. And Eric, I do want to share this. There are 4 pitchers out there that I think realistically the Astros could go get. And I think the reason why they're bringing up these young players is to showcase them. Although I still don't know why they brought Shea Wickham up, because he hasn't touched the field. If the Astros are on the market right now for starting pitcher, 4 guys I would look at. Sandy Alcantara. He's having a horrible year. You can fix that guy. Adrian Hauser with the Chicago White Sox 2 years ago, won 12 games. Zach Eflin, Baltimore, may have too high of a price. Jose Soriano. Now, Soriano, I think, is the best one out of this bunch, but he has like 2 or 3 years of arbitration, so he might come at a high price. There's also, I think, is it Tim Anderson? over there with the Angels, but there's several pitchers that are 3, 4, or 5 slot guys in a rotation that the Astros could go get. The only question is, what is the team going to want? Most of those guys I mentioned, Eric, only have 1 year left on their contract. So you may be able to get somebody. Again, this team has got to start hitting more home runs. They've got to keep hitting with runners in scoring position. And the catcher's got to do more what they did today, throw runners out on the bases. There are some fine-tuned things that this team needs to do on a more consistent basis, because if they are blessed enough to get to an ALCS, Eric, they're going to be playing more than likely the Yankees. And I honestly thought they were going to miss the playoffs this year. They are probably not missing the playoffs in 2025.
Well, O'Neill Cruz gave them a gift. We'll talk about that gift next on the Locked On Astros podcast.
You know what? I am so happy that we are here today because I get to tell you about our friends at Supply House. You can get everything you need for skilled trades from Supply House with plumbing, HVAC, and electrical in a reliable way to order products that's fast and easy, shipped from coast to coast, delivered to your house. With an inventory of over 200,000 parts from 400 plus brands. And if you need help with an order, Supply House offers expert support and industry-leading service, so you'll always talk to a real person. And for trade pros looking for an extra edge, their free Trade Master program offers exclusive perks like a dedicated phone line, free shipping, and discounts on every order. And I can tell you, being the son of a master electrician, this site is key. Thousands of skilled professionals are already taking advantage. Now it's your turn. So join the Trade Master program today at supplyhouse.com/TM and start ordering plumbing, HVAC, and electrical supplies with just a few clicks. Plus, use promo code SH5 for 5% off your first order. That's supplyhouse.com.
Hey guys, welcome back to Locked On Astros podcast. My name is Eric Huysman. He is Brett Chancey. We are the Locked On Astros podcast. Thank you for making us part of your daily routine, whether it's on YouTube. Go ahead and subscribe to us. We are really, really, really close to 14,000 subscribers. So all you have to do is just hit that little red button down there. Just make us very happy podcasters. And hopefully the Astros will make you very, very happy Astros fans towards the end of the season. But right now, as we speak on June 3rd at 9:26, the Astros, for the first time all season, they are 6 games above 500 for the first time. And they have done that with not necessarily hitting a lot of home runs. They've been having some timely hits. Yes, today they won with the home runs. But I think what you're seeing, Brett, is you're seeing this team going away from, hey, let's wait for Alvarez to hit a home run. Let's wait for one of the other 2 guys that left this team to hit a home run. They're getting more timely hits. Yes, it'll be easier to just hit the home runs, but this team doesn't need it. But at the same time, Paredes is hitting the home runs. You have Jeremy Pena. He's having a career year. Yes. And so you're having a lot of players that are stepping up in the absence of Yordan Alvarez. And so we don't know how long he's going to be out, but we did get an update on Zachary DeZenzo. I did put Zachary on there. I know his name's Zach, but I did it on purpose. He has a left hand capsule sprain, and he's going to undergo re-imaging in 2 weeks. So basically, they're going to let him heal for 2 weeks. Then they're going to see how he's doing.
You know what? Imagine if they would have done that with Yordan. Hey, Yordan, why don't you not hit? Oh, it feels fine. No, Yordan, you're injured. We're going to go ahead and put you on the IL. Don't swing the bat. Well, it's swelling, but it feels better. Okay, Yordan, stop. Big fella, we know you love baseball. Go home, play with your kids. Tell them not to mess your hands up. Just chill, bro. It's okay. Yordan, I think, learned a lesson. The Astros, you would think, learned a lesson. Oh, and this last weekend, they celebrated the doctor. I think we already talked about that. But did you hear that? Yeah, he gave like a 35th anniversary, like, no offense to
at first,
Dr.
I thought you said they celebrated the Dodgers. The way you said it so quickly, I'm like,
they celebrated the doctor, not the Dodgers. No, the doctor. Dodgers are always thirsty for stuff in my mentions for some reason. I don't know why. I think they're jealous. It's probably the moneymaker right here. But I digress. Eric, I think, though, with this game, with us being 6 games above 500, okay, the Houston Astros have 2 games where I think you have really good matchups with the pitchers that are struggling in Keller, and I believe it's Barlow, not doing great this year. So take advantage of that. Heck, why not sweep the Pirates, go to Cleveland, at least take 2 of 3 from them? That would be a great road trip. 4-1, or I guess 5-1, and then come home and keep winning games because they play really well at home.
At the same time, you do have Ryan Gusto on the mound, and he's been struggling a little bit
Hold
recently.
on. Wait, you saying you have no faith in Ryan Gusto? There's no gusto in your enthusiasm for Ryan? Come on, man.
Curb your enthusiasm there, Brett.
Oh, I see what you did there. Womp, womp, womp.
So on the positive side, neither team, no players have ever faced these 2 pitchers. Okay, so that's one positive note. So there's no history here. So this is definitely going to be something where they're going to be looking at iPads, looking at pitch, where the pitch is, the delivery and location throughout the game. But Ryan Gusto, he needs to go deeper into this game. The Astros can't keep on going deep into their bullpen like they do in his starts. At some point, they may have to make the decision to scrap the Ryan Gusto experiment. I know that Spencer Getty is still a long way away from returning. So, but at some point, he'll come back. But the Astros have got to find an answer for 4 and 5 in the rotation. So far, Colton Gordon has shown some signs. He's got to go deeper into games too. So the Astros, they have a good top 3 now, and Lance McCullers has entered the conversation here. I'm glad for that because after Ronel Blanco went down for the season, the Astros needed somebody. Oh, by the way, speaking of Ronel Blanco, he is going to officially have his Tommy John surgery on Friday. So it's been officially scheduled. So go ahead and add 15 months to Friday.
Someone said bring back Kikuchi. No, Kikuchi's having a horrible year, and they're not going to take on that contract. So enough of the bad contracts, kids. We're not, if he came back here. Nope, we're not doing the Kikuchi thing again. And no, he's horrible, Eric, and you're going to have to pay him for 3 years.
He was not that a great pitcher with the Blue Jays, and the Astros fixed him.
Okay, Eric. So you're going to pay a guy that right now, does he have a win? Last I checked, he hadn't won a game. He's
saving it for the Astros. He is the new Justin Verlander. Come on, Brett.
How did I know? What? Oh my gosh.
No, not in terms of player, but like the Astros keep on trading for him. That's what I mean.
No, he's not the pitcher's version of Jed Lowry.
I know.
Okay.
You
remember him? You remember Jed Lowry?
Another player the Astros kept on trading for. Martin Maldonado. They keep on. I think he went away. They traded back for him, if I remember correctly.
They brought back Marmon Gonzalez. They brought back Elibnas Diaz. What's next? Brett Wallace out of retirement.
Free agent. I'm talking about trade.
J.R. Tolles from Crosby boy.
So. The Astros definitely be looking at somebody at the trade deadline. I don't know who. I think it's just the beginning of June. There's still a full 2 months before their decision. So the Astros have just got to be a little bit more consistent with winning. They got to feel like they have a chance to compete in AL West. Looking at the AL West, they do. The Mariners could go on a big run. Any other team could go on a big old run.
The thing, though, Eric, I'll be real honest with you. I thought the 2-horse race was us and the Rangers, was the Astros and the Rangers. I think the 2-horse race is the Astros and the Mariners. I mean, The Mariners are playing some darn good ball. I mean, they have a lot of come from behind wins. They have walk-off wins. They went at home. They went on the road. And again, Cal Riley is having the best offensive season a catcher's had since Salvador, Salvi and KC had.
When you're going to toe-to-toe with Shohei Ohtani, you're doing something right.
dude, with home runs, it's insane. It is crazy. So I'm hoping, look, Mariners, cool your jets. Like we just need you to continue to do what you do in the past. Just totally crap the bed at the end of the season. I'll be fine with that. Someone said sign Trevor Bauer. Now, interesting news. I just saw a tweet from Rachel Luba, his agent. She said that he just successfully sued Trevor Bauer. Trevor Bauer won his lawsuit get this, won his lawsuit. It says right here. Trevor Bauer has won his lawsuit against Lindsey Hill for falsely claiming that Bauer paid her any monetary amount to settle their original suit. She is ordered to pay him $309,000 in damages. So basically, she's now been ordered to pay Bauer. She has been arrested and is being charged with assault and abuse and with an outstanding warrant for her arrest. Bauer's other false accuser is currently being charged with committing fraud against him. Most importantly, Bauer has never been arrested, charged on a single crime, or paid even a cent to an accuser. Look, say what you want about Bauer. I guess he was wrongly accused, but I don't even go to that. I go to what he was before all this stuff came up.
Yeah.
I think he's a cancer in the locker room. I think he's a big fat baby. And I think he's just one of these guys that he's so smart. He's too smart for his own good. And I don't see the Astros ever entertaining that idea. But that is a fact thing that you have to bring up.
Somebody in the comments called us stupid for never talking about it and everything. But honestly, if a team was going to sign him, not the Astros, any team, if they were going to sign him, they would have done it by now.
Oh, yeah, by far.
It's not Eric and Brett and try and make this decision. This is Major League Baseball making a stance that they don't want Trevor Bauer in the locker room. It's not our decision. Would I like having the pitcher Trevor Bauer on the team? Sure. But I don't know if I don't see a guy like Jim Crane making that decision, especially with some of the players that have let's just say some of the criticisms they got with some of the players they brought in the past. So I just
they're not gonna like. People are talking about the pitcher Urias in here who was suspended for domestic violence. They're not bringing him in. Roberto Ozuna, we remember that PR debacle.
Yeah.
Look, this team has had enough controversy, and if you want to cheer for Trevor Bauer, he will be pitching for some Korean or Chinese or Japanese team or in Mexico again. I'm sure he'll be pitching somewhere. But look, man, the guy just was not fun to be around when he was in the league anyways. He threw tantrums. But the reason why I mention that, Eric, is because people bring it up from time to time. And honestly, we choose not to talk about it because it has nothing to do with the Astros. This isn't locked on Trevor Bauer. But I mention that because, look, you can't deny facts. Facts are facts. But I don't like the guy before that stuff. So for me, it starts way before all this stuff ever came up anyways.
Yeah, we still have that bad blood from when he was a Dodger. So yeah, we have that issue too. So, but the Astros just need to go out, get some more offense going against a pitcher with a high ERA tomorrow. Hope that Gusto has some more gusto tomorrow and goes deep into the game. And hopefully tomorrow we're talking about Astros victory. And the Astros, for the first time, they're 7 games above 500. And you just keep on building on that. Maybe this is the time they go on this big winning streak. So, guys, that's all we got for this edition of the Locked On Astros podcast. My name is Eric Huysman. He is Brett Chancey, and we will see you tomorrow. And hopefully the Astros win the game.
Go Stros. You let me do it.